This week, I am in the throes of a ton of things. I have had a very busy week, a lot of scheduled points of accountability outside of my house, several every single day. And there's just been a lot going on. So I've just been feeling the strain of not having my regular routine and my downtime. And it just has kind of thrown me off a bit. Like I'm really aware of how much I really thrive in routine. I think a lot of us do. But one of the points of accountability that I had this past Wednesday, I attended a funeral at our church. There is a woman that I know through our women's ministry and through the Adoration Chapel, and her husband passed away last week. He was in his 70s and he had cancer, but it came and got him really, really fast. He went from symptoms to diagnosis to gone in about the span of a month. By the time they realized something was going on, he was beyond treatment options. And so it's been really, really painful for their family. And I know one of their sons, and he's just been struggling. And it's a lot. It's a lot when we deal with loss and suffering. And we were all praying. We were praying for a miracle because this man, his name is George. So please pray for the repose of his soul. Um, George needed a miracle in order to continue to live. And so that's what we were praying for. And he did not receive a physical healing. He did not receive that miracle. And he passed and was called home. And over the years, I've really struggled with this, that in the gospel, every time someone approaches Jesus in faith, he takes pity on them and heals them. Like, we don't hear any examples of Jesus having someone brought to him, or going to someone and the person says, I want to be made well and I believe that you can do it. And Jesus says, I hear you and I love you, but my will is not for you to be healed. My will is for you to continue in what this is, or my will is for you to eventually let this disease take your life. Like, all we hear in the gospels are these examples of Jesus healing. He always loves them. He always takes pity on them, and he always heals them. And so I've been kind of wrestling with this for a while. But of course, something like a funeral will really like bring it to the surface. It came back in a very big way. Why do some people get physically healed and some people don't? And the Lord said something to me this week that I want to share with you guys, and I hope that maybe it can bring you a little bit of comfort, because it's really changed my perspective and the way I view these things. So the back history is this understanding of Saint Augustine explained that in the Old Testament, the Lord was establishing a kingdom on earth. And so the way that this was manifested was that when the Israelites, when the Jews were doing what they were supposed to do, when they were worshiping God rightly and putting him first in their life, when they were respecting other people and taking care of each other and living the 10 commandments, when they were living in right relationship with God, they materially prospered. Their kingdom did well. I mean, there's so many stories of these battles that they have been able to overcome, of armies that are, way bigger and way stronger than them. But because they rely on the Lord, because they are living in right relationship with the Lord blesses them materialistically, like on earth, in earth. And he is establishing his authority and ability to do that. But when Jesus came, he came to establish the kingdom of God, which is not a kingdom of earth. It is a spiritual kingdom. It is a kingdom not of material things, but of the heart and of our soul, and of who we are, and of that which will live eternally. Because of course we all know that everything materially here on earth will end. Our bodies will die and will stay gone until the final resurrection. All of the buildings and the money that we have and all of these things, they will eventually corrode and go away, but our soul will live forever. And so in this context, and understanding that, what the Lord came to explain to me this week is that um, He does want to heal each of us, but it's just not always the physical healing. It's not the establishment of the earthly wealth. It's not the establishment of the earthly gains. And so this healing that he always gives to us every time when we come to him in faith and sincerely ask is a healing of a spiritual kind. And the way that this was illuminated to me is that I was reading a gospel passage, and I have a commentary that went alongside with it. And in the Hebrew language, the verb that they use for heal in the New Testament could also be translated as save. So we come to him asking for healing, and what he offers is the salvation of our souls. He saves us. And yes, that word save can mean like to save from a fire, or save from drowning, to physically save. But we as Christians, of course, know that the word save means so much more. And so if we had the gift of being able to read the gospel in the original language, we would not miss that double meaning, that Jesus comes to heal, but more importantly and more profoundly, he comes to save. And I had that opportunity of really experiencing that this week with the spiritual healings that I got to witness firsthand through my friend who lost her husband and my friend who lost his dad, and the community that came together to mourn and to support and to grieve and to pray for the soul of George. And we believe that he will be in heaven rejoicing and celebrating and living forever, because even though he didn't get his physical healing, he was healed in the special way that Jesus can, in the way of the spiritual realm, the kingdom of God, the kingdom that Jesus came to establish. That's all I have for you this week. I'm Maria Riley, just a sinner in the throes of trying to be a saint.